الله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن الناس من يشتري لهو الحديث ليضل عن سبيل الله بغير علم ويتخذها هزوا أولئك لهم عذاب مهين وإذا تتلى عليه آياتنا ولى مستكبرا كأن لم يسمعها كأن في أذنيه وقرا فبشره بعذاب أليم إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات النعيم خالدين فيها وعد الله حقا وهو العزيز الحكيم خلق السماوات بغير عمد ترونها وألقى في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بكم وبث فيها من كل دابة وأنزلنا من السماء ماء فأنبتنا فيها من كل زوج كريم هذا خلق الله فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه بل الظالمون في ضلال مبين صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Luqman. Last night we had read this ayah, the fourth ayah of Surah Luqman, which is the sixth ayah, which is a famous ayah. According to a lot of Sahaba, it is about the prohibition of music in Quran. The Prophet ﷺ has said that I have been sent to annihilate and destroy all things of music. So it is, the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned it as one of his jobs, one of his purposes of being sent into this world. Similarly, the Prophet ﷺ has said that listening to music creates fisq in the hearts, cultivates fisq in the heart. Fisq is major open sinning. It creates the desire to sin in the heart, just like a rain brings about vegetation from the earth. When the Prophet ﷺ would pass by a place where there would be some music, the Prophet ﷺ would fully close his ears by putting his fingers into his ears. So therefore we should be very particular about avoiding this sin. Also, this ayah applies to everything that takes us away from the right path, be it in the knowledge, in the shape of knowledge as well. If somebody does not have the authority, then it is best that we don't even listen to them if they are even telling us about deen. Because if they are telling us about deen and they do not have the right aqaid or the right knowledge which is certified by the right people, then it is possible that they will also waste our time or take us away from the true path. And this is also included in the tafsir of this ayah, that such people, we should avoid them because they are going to create confusions in deen and also take us away from the right path and make us busy elsewhere, while that time could have been spent in learning true deen and getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِ آيَاتُنَا وَلَّى مُسْتَكْبِرًا كَأَن لَّمْ يَسْمَعْهَا كَأَنَّ فِي أُذُنَيْهِ وَقْرًا فَبَشِّرْهُ بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. And when our verses are recited to him, he turns away in arrogance, كَأَن لَّمْ يَسْمَعْهَا, as if he did not hear them, كَأَنَّ فِي أُذُنَيْهِ وَقْرًا, as if there is heaviness or stuff in his ears, as if he is deaf. فَبَشِّرْهُ بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ, so give him the glad tiding or the good news of a painful punishment. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ النَّعِيمِ. Surely for those who believe and do righteous things, for them there are gardens of bliss, full of blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا, in which they will live forever. وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقًّا, this is a promise, an absolute promise of Allah. وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ, and He is mighty, the wise. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have just said wa'ad Allah. Allah is saying wa'ad Allahi haqqa, further emphasizing that this is the absolute true promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then further emphasizing وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ, He is almighty, He is all wise. So this is the promise of such a strong being, the strongest, the power and authority of whom nobody can challenge. And here in the next ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives one sign of His perfect authority and His wisdom. And this is perhaps the most easily understood and visible sign of the wisdom and authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the skies. We understand even a simple person, a simpleton also understands the benefits that they get from the sky. بِغَيْرِ عَمَدٍ تَرَوْنَهَا, without any pillars that you may see. So the sky is such a big roof, the people would look up and say and see that this is such a roof that no one can create. We can create big roofs which can give us shelter, but we always need support for them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the sky in such a way that there is no visible pillars that will support it. And the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is such that through this sky Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, this is the authority, and through the wisdom, the sign of wisdom is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created so many benefits with the sky. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, when He has said that this is, not in this ayah but in other places, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that He has created it as a roof or a covering or a shelter or protection over you. Now in today's world we understand that the sky or the atmosphere, it does act as a very, it's a very beneficial layer of protection over the earth, and it has no pillars. Only Allah could do that. وَأَلْقَى فِي الْأَرْضِ رَوَاسِيَ أَن تَمِيدَ بِكُمْ وَبَثَّ فِيهَا مِن كُلِّ دَابَّةٍ, and placed mountains on the earth lest it shakes with you. وَبَثَّ فِيهَا مِن كُلِّ دَابَّةٍ, and spread over it all kinds of creatures. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً, and we sent down water from the heavens. فَأَنبَتْنَا فِيهَا مِن كُلِّ زَوْجٍ كَرِيمٍ, and caused it to grow in it every noble pair. So all sorts of vegetation comes out from the earth from this rain, and dependent upon this vegetation is the creation, the support, the survival of all other animals and living things. هَذَا خَلْقُ اللَّهِ, this is the creation of Allah. فَأَرُونِي, now show me. مَاذَا خَلَقَ الَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ, now show me what is created by those others beside Him. So the idols that you take as associate gods to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they should, if they are associate, if they deserve to be associated with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they should have taken some part in this creation, or they should have shown some signs of creation, or they should have some proof that they created something. You themselves say that they create nothing, rather they are created out of their own hands, out of your own hands, and still you make them partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has such great creation, such perfect wisdom. بَلِ الظَّالِمُونَ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ, rather the transgressors are in open error. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us those who always stick to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, avoid associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any way, shape or form. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.